And of course, to the parents and the students who were either commuting or dropping their kids to school, if they saw something suspicious prior to your arrival to the school or saw something suspicious happening, this is a great opportunity to safeguard your community and, of course, to safeguard the school and of course, the students that utilize the school by providing the information to the individuals responsible for this. And, it really is something that the schools in itself, regardless if you're in a public or a private school, this is an opportunity to learn. This is an opportunity for growth and, of course, character building. So, we want to ask the students from Montalon, we want to ask parents that should anybody may have saw something that was strange or unusual, something that was happening maybe outside of the perimeter, because this is a big school and it is enclosed in a fence perimeter. So something that may have caught your eye, to please call the Guam Crime Stoppers or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com.
So as of right now, we don't know how many individuals were involved.
No, we don't. But we do know that the 5 classrooms were broken into. I don't have an inventory to report whether there was anything that was taken. But the act of setting a classroom on fire, it really is. It is troubling because it was right before the start of school. So I know kids get dropped off to school by 7 o'clock. The school starts operation by 8 or 8:30. So if you put a timestamp by 6 in the morning to 7 o'clock, it's a great opportunity. It may have happened earlier. We're still trying to figure out the exact time and everything when the rooms were discovered, broken into. But I was talking to the Guam Fire Department's public information officer, and they only received the information based on the request from the Guam Police Department. So we're going to be working closely with them, with the arson investigators, because this is now a 2-part investigation. One is the initial call, which is the burglary, and the second is the arson to a building and of course an establishment. So we need to bring closure to this, and this is why we're featuring this segment with the CrimeTime.
Now, I know it's still under investigation, but were there any major damages at all to the classroom from as a result of the fire?
From just based on the preliminary reports, it really is. We're focusing on the fire and what was said in one of the classrooms or one of the rooms that was broken into. Again, a full inventory. I don't have a copy of the inventory that was generated by the patrol officers, but should anything, come into play where we can identify an item that was stolen, maybe a school property, maybe we can have a tracking number in that. This is great information that we can utilize. This is great information in which our investigators and, of course, the community can use in helping bring closure to this case.
Definitely. So is this the first time we've had an incident like this at one of the schools? I know that we've had recent riots within the past few months, but as far as burglary, arson, break-ins?
Well, things happen, and it really is when you do your problematic scale or your probability of events that are happening. We know for a fact too that coming from the Guam Police Department, working in patrol, that when schools have a long extended day off, right, or long extended weekends, things happen. But this happened on the midday and on Wednesday. So these are the times in which we actually need to look into as to what prompted this, because majority of our school break-ins really do happen during the weekend times when school is not in function, or there's no activity going on, or there's an extended holiday, which prolongs the activity on the school. But again, this pretty much happened on a Wednesday. It was reported on a Wednesday, so we want to stay in that time frame. Should it have happened earlier in that day, earlier in that morning, we're looking at 7 o'clock as the actual reporting time. We're also going to be working, again, like I mentioned, with Guam Fire Department's arson investigators to really get an accurate time as to when the fire was started, so we can actually pinpoint the time of when the burglary was happening or what was really going on within the school.
Now, you mentioned holidays and usually extended holidays. So we have Christmas coming up, New Year's. Students will be out of school. Any safety concerns with that, considering there could be more potential incidents during that time?
And I'm glad you bring that up, because we're going to as CrimeTime progresses towards next week, we're going to try and bring in our juvenile investigators to talk about some of the things in which we can do as a community, but a holistic approach from the family. It's really, we ask the parents to have an accountability of what your kid is doing during the holiday season. 2 weeks is a long time for kids to be out, and of course, we're not going to see any activity in schools, and this is where the risk is high for school break-ins to occur. Is really when these holidays come in, and it's those long extended holidays. So we really ask the community, and more importantly the parents, to play an active part in just tracking what your kids are doing. And when we talk to our juvenile investigators, hopefully we can get them on camera by next week. We can discuss something, some issues about curfew, some issues about parental involvement, of course, parental guidance, what you can and can't do and everything, and of course, accountability of your child, because when a crime is committed by a minor, the full responsibility, the burden and everything falls back on the parent or the guardian. And I think it's important that the community understands that, is that we have our job and our duty as parents is to safeguard our kids, but we also are going to be responsible for their actions. So the two-pronged approach to this is really getting the parents involved and understanding what they can do and how they can actually help safeguard the community by just talking to your kids and having a tracker to see pretty much what they're going to be doing throughout the extended holiday season.
Definitely. Parents, and then also what about neighborhoods? Because I know that we've done a lot with neighborhood watch groups,
Yes.
and we see that there's homes surrounding the school. So anything you'd like to say to just people within the village, the community in general?
It is, this is one of the initiatives in which we are trying to introduce to the neighborhood watch program. I know we've had the discussion with with the safe school approach with the Leon Guerrero Sonora administration. The lieutenant governor and the governor, they actually went out with the administrators from the Department of Education to their respective schools in the middle, elementary, and high school. And one of the things that was brought up, and I think it's spot on, because the chairman for the Guam Educational School Board, Mr. Mark Mendiola, he is an active member in his respective neighborhood watch group in Norwood. And one of the concepts he brought up to our respective neighborhood watch commanders was an Adopt a School campaign, in which the village in itself that do have an active, vibrant neighborhood watch program can actually adopt a school. And it really is the residents who surround the schools, they can pretty much be the eyes and ears for the school by reporting any type of suspicious activities. We've seen it play two falls in the Dededo area years ago, where members within, residents within an elementary school in Dededo saw an individual jumping the fence of the respective school during the evening hours. That prompted that individual to call the Dededo precinct. Our officers were able to come in a timely manner, and they were able to apprehend the individual, because that school in particular was notorious for school break-ins. And this was the time when people were breaking into the schools to steal copper wire. So that really helped us, because we knew now what we were targeting. But the concept in which Mr. Mark Mendiola had proposed was really, it's ingenious and it's cost efficient, because you're asking residents to adopt a school by just being the eyes and ears. And this is a campaign, this is an initiative that was brought up during the safe school meetings, in which DOE, the administration, the Leon Guerrero Sonora administration, the Guam Police Department set forth to find out how we can safeguard and better better equip the schools with safety and security within the community. And this is something which we want to bring to the table about an Adopt a School campaign. And it really, if you have a home that's surrounding or fronting the school, they can play a major asset to that.
Facing the school.
Absolutely. And if you take the four-corner approach of a neighborhood watch program and you use the school as the focal point, now you have four corners of residents watching that particular school. So again, it's pretty much ingenious, and it's cost efficient, very, very, very effective. When you have the community who understands the importance of the schools and the functions and what that our educators provide for our students, so they're a part of the community. So this is in which we want to bring to the community about the neighborhood watch program and the Adopt a School campaign. But realistically, back to Antolon Middle School. Mm-hmm. We asked the community that if anybody saw or they might have seen something that was strange or unusual on Wednesday, December 4th, between the hours of, I want to say, between 5 to 7 o'clock in the morning, to please call the Guam Police Department's dispatchers at 472-8911 or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. These are informations in which we can actually utilize to bring closure to this case. It's a two-pronged investigation now with the Guam Police Department and with the Guam Fire Department, as this now is also an arson investigation.
All right, let's get that number one more time.
So our dispatchers are 472-8911 or 475-861-527, or they can submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. And I assure the community that when you utilize the Guam Crime Stoppers, we practice full anonymity, and every information that we provide, you will remain completely confidential.
All right. Well, thank you, Sergeant Tapao, and thank you all for watching Crime Time. I'm Adriana Catero, and